It's kind of embarrassing to admit, but my little sister stole my fiancé.
Hello there, Mr. and Mrs. Aikawa.
Well, why are you here?
Smells amazing as always. My name is Daichi. I'm 28, work a regular office job, and I've always loved vegetables. My hobby is checking out different bento shops and restaurants that use delicious veggies. Lately though, I've been completely hooked on one particular shop, and I had already decided that today's lunch would be from there. Hi there, I came by again. The bento shop I'm obsessed with right now is Chisato Bento. At first, I was drawn in by how much love and care you could feel in the food.
Welcome! Thanks so much for always stopping by.
But now, it's also because I get to see her, the lovely shop owner, Chisato Aikawa, whose smile I look forward to every time.
What would you like today? The grilled veggie bento or the veggie-loaded Chinese bowl are both ready to go.
Then, I'll have one grilled veggie bento, please.
Thank you as always, Sukahara.
We've been on a first-name basis for a while now, but every time she says my name, my heart skips a beat. The truth is, I've got a crush on Aikawa, who's a year older than me. But I've never made a move, and that's because... I really should give up on this crush already. A glint of light from the ring on her left ring finger. Yeah, she's already engaged to another man.
Thanks for waiting. One grilled veggie bento.
Thank you. I'll come again soon. Then one day, I stopped by Chisato Bento later than usual, during my delayed lunch break. They normally pause business between lunch and dinner, so I barely made it in time. What a relief.
Welcome.
Chisato gave me a weak smile. She used to greet me so cheerfully, but for the past few weeks, she's seemed down. Hi, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
I couldn't just ignore it, so I'd asked a few times, but she always politely changed the subject. But then, I glanced at her left hand, and noticed her ring was gone. Maybe she noticed me looking, because she glanced at her hand and gave me a strained smile.
It's kind of embarrassing to admit, but my little sister stole my fiancé.
What?
It's pathetic, isn't it? I didn't know anything until it was too late.
If you would like, I'd be happy to listen. I mean, if it's not a bother while you're working.
Are you sure you wouldn't mind?
Of course I don't mind. The first time I ate one of your bentos, I felt something I couldn't explain. It would be an exaggeration to say I could talk to the veggies, but I could feel their energy. It really moved me.
That's a little much.
It's not. All I know is, I'm genuinely worried about you.
If you really feel that way, then yes. Thank you.
Soon after the lunch hours ended, we moved to a nearby park.
You remember I mentioned my ex-fiancé before, right?
Yeah, I think you said he worked at a big company. Her ex-fiancé, Ryuta Ichinose, lived nearby and used to be a customer at Chisato Bento.
He was kind of easily influenced, but I thought he was a kind, decent guy. He told me he'd never betray me. So I thought I could be happy with him. But I guess my sister didn't like that idea.
She told me that she was always the lesser one at home. Her parents only doted on her cheerful and outgoing younger sister, Momoka.
My parents always prioritized Momoka. Whenever I asked to learn piano, they'd say it was too expensive and immediately shoot me down. But a few years later, when my sister asked, they agreed without hesitation. It wasn't just piano. I lost count of the times I was told, "You're the big sister," and forced to put up with things.
Chisato had distanced herself from that family and started Chisato Bento. But when she got engaged to Ichinose, she went to inform her family. After that, Ryuta gradually became hard to reach.
My parents run a restaurant called Harebote Restaurant, and Momoka works there as a chef. Since it would be his in-laws' place, Ryuta started going there regularly. And then apparently my sister told him she'd fallen for him at first sight and started coming on to him.
Then one day, they called Chisato to the family restaurant, and Ryuta told her he was breaking off the engagement to marry Momoka. Sorry, Chisato, let's break up. I don't think I would ever find another girl like Momoka who's this cute and totally into me. I know I said I would never betray you, and I'm sorry it turned out like this. Of course, I'll pay compensation.
No way! Don't be too hard on Ryuta, sis. It's not his fault. Sorry. I guess it's my fault for being more attractive than you.
Pretending to look sorry, Momoka leaned in close and whispered.
An elite, handsome fiancé like that doesn't suit you, so I took him instead.
That's what she said. That's awful. Didn't your parents say anything to her?
No. Like I said, they've always loved her more. They fully support their wedding.
That's so selfish. I can't believe it. I've been to Haribote restaurant once before, but I never imagined the people running it would be your family, or that they'll be like this.
I can't really blame them. My sister's cute, outgoing, and charming.
That's not true. I know just how amazing you are, Aikawa.
You think I'm amazing?
As I mentioned earlier, I could feel the love you have for vegetables in every one of your bentos. Even just from the way you greet people, your kindness really shines through. So please, don't take the words of people who don't understand that to heart.
You really think so? It's strange, but when you say it, I start to believe it might actually be true. Thank you, Sukahara. I think I might be able to face my sister's wedding with a bit more composure now. They said it'd reflect really badly if I didn't attend.
Wait, you're planning to go? Isn't that just your sister trying to rub it in your face?
I think so too, but I'd rather not have my relatives spreading rumors behind my back if I don't show up. Well, they haven't even decided on the date or venue yet.
Seeing Chisato give a tired laugh, I shared an idea that came to mind. If you'd like, I could go with you. As your boyfriend, I mean.
It'd be reassuring to have someone who knows the situation there. That's true. But still, I couldn't trouble you that much.
No, it's really okay. Actually, a few months later, Chisato and I attended the wedding of Ryuta Ichinose and Momoka.
Good morning. Let's do our best today.
She's adorable. Chisato appeared in a beautiful dress, and I couldn't help but stare.
Are you alright, Sukahara? Your face looks a little red.
It's nothing. I'm fine. Let's make today a good one. Afterward, the ceremony went off without a hitch, and we moved to the reception venue. Quite the extravagant wedding.
Momoka begged for it, and my parents paid for the whole thing. They really spoil her.
Just as we shared a wry smile over that.
So that's your new guy, huh, sis? Seriously? Momoka.
It was time for the table rounds, and the Ichinose couple had somehow made their way over to us.
Only a few months after breaking off your engagement, and here you are with a new man. Wow, sis. You really are that kind of woman. No wonder Ryuta dumped you. Not that it's surprising. I mean, I am the cuter one.
Momoka, I thought you made up with Chisato, which is why you invited her. Picking a fight isn't helping. Besides, some of my coworkers are here too. Please don't cause a scene that'll damage my image.
Oh, come on. This kind of thing is normal in our family. And hey, if it gets you kicked out of your job, you can always work at our restaurant.
Momoka brushed off Ryuta's words, then turned her gaze to me.
So, what do you do, mister? My husband's an elite company man, you know?
Yeah, I've heard all about it. I'm just a regular office worker, though I do work at a much smaller company than Ichinose's.
Knew it. That totally checks out. I'd be so worried worried about a future with a guy like this. Hey, Momoka, that's super rude.
The table started to grow tense, and that's when Chisato's parents rushed over in a panic. Hey, Chisato! What are you doing causing a scene at Momoka's wedding? Wait, huh? Hello there, Mr. and Mrs. Saikawa.
Well, why are you here? Huh? Mom, Dad, you know this plain guy? What's going on?
Momoka, that's no way to speak. Please forgive her. We're terribly sorry.
Do you know who this is? He's the grandson of Love Koi Farm. What? Love Koi Farm?
That's right. My grandmother runs a large farm, and the vegetables grown there have become a high-end brand. Just saying a shop uses produce from Love Koi Farm is enough to boost its popularity. And Haribote Restaurant is one of her clients. Thank you for coming to the PR event for Love Koi Farm the other day, Aikawa. Well, I'm just an office worker who sometimes gets roped into helping at events, so don't worry about that. My older brother is one who'll take over the farm. But when it comes to someone I care about, like Chisato, being treated unfairly, that's a different story. Unfairly? No, that's not...
That's right. We love both our daughters equally.
I've heard a fair bit about the situation from Chisato, and I remember what your younger daughter just said to her earlier too. Despite all that, the first thing you said was to scold Chisato and defend Momoka. I think it's pretty easy to figure out what kind of family dynamic you've had up until now. That's... Apparently losing hope in her parents, Momoka glared sharply at me.
Of course I'm the one who gets all the love. Sis has never been the sweet type. But so what? You're not seriously gonna cancel our business deal over this, are you?
Well, I'm not in charge of the business side, so I can't make any promises. But just being associated with a client that stole a fiancé is enough to damage the Love Koi Farm brand, don't you think? So it's entirely possible this incident alone could cost you the contract renewal. And since it seems there are other issues as well, it might even end earlier than expected. Other issues? We haven't done anything! Actually, I ate at Haribote Restaurant once before. Thanks to your use of Love Koi Farm produce, the food was fairly decent. But I've been eating our vegetables since I was a kid, I can tell. Your restaurant isn't bringing out the true flavor of the vegetables. At first, I thought it might just be a skill issue from the kitchen, but recently, Chisato told me something shocking. Yes, it was that same day Chisato told me everything. After I told her I was the grandson of the farm's owner, she shared this with me.
Actually, my parents don't treat ingredients with care at all. Their attitude towards cooking is really poor. I've warned them again and again, but they always say, as long as we use Love Koi Farm veggies, customers will come, and refuse to change their mindset. That's one of the big reasons I left home and opened my own bento shop.
Regarding produce from Love Koi Farm, our contracts stipulate that while suppliers are allowed to publicly disclose their sourcing, they are also obligated to uphold the brand's image. And yet, if vegetables are being handled carelessly, that becomes a matter of trust. According to the investigation by a private agency, there was actually a whistleblower from within Haribote Restaurant. They gathered evidence, and with that, my grandmother was apparently furious and decided the contract couldn't continue. No way!
Why?
Completely cornered, Momoka and her parents turned their resentful stares toward Chisato.
Why should my plain old sister with her tiny bento shop get to be the lucky one? That's impossible!
You must have wormed your way into his good graces with some sneaky tricks.
That's gotta be it. I mean, I'm cuter one. There's no way a girl like her should be happy.
That's enough out of you. Food reflects the person who made it, especially with vegetables. I can tell exactly how they were prepared. The first time I ate Chisato's bento, I could feel how much care she puts into both the ingredients and her customers. Since I was little, I've grown up with Love Koi Farm's vegetables and loved my grandma's cooking. Grandma, this stew is so good! Maybe it's because you used the veggies you all worked so hard to grow?
That's part of it, sure. But cooking gets better when you treat the veggies with care and don't cut corners.
Isn't that hard though?
Maybe. But if it makes you and the others smile, that's what keeps me going.
That's how I grew to love vegetables. And before I knew it, trying out bento shops and restaurants that use delicious veggies became a hobby. Most of the food I enjoy uses produce from Love Koi Farm. But, whoa, what is this? It's so good and so warm. I was moved to tears by food from Chisato Bento, which had no connection to Love Koi Farm at the time. Chisato's cooking is full of kindness for the people she feeds. It's nothing like the food served at your restaurant. Parents who couldn't see that love, and a sister who takes joy in stealing her happiness. You're a perfect match, in a twisted kind of way. What? Ignoring their cries, I approached Ryuta Ichinose, who stood frozen in place. Yeah, you got dragged into this by her, sure, but going along with her and actually marrying her? That's just plain foolish. As far as I'm concerned, you're just as guilty for hurting Chisato. But since I'm not the one you hurt, I'll leave it up to her to decide what to do about you. I'm really sorry, Chisato.
You apologized that day when you broke off the engagement, and I accepted the compensation, so there's nothing more I want from you. But I can't trust you again. Don't think we can ever go back to what we had. From now on, let's just live our lives without ever being involved again.
Yeah, okay. After that, Haribote Restaurant begged my grandmother to continue the contract. But it was no use. She cut ties with them completely. They started buying vegetables from another farm, but... don't you think this place's food's gotten kinda bad?
Probably because they can't use Love Koi Farm veggies anymore.
The food quality dropped, and customers stopped coming.
This is your fault, Momoka, if you hadn't tried to steal Chisato's fiancé. Excuse me? You two were happy when I started dating Ryuta.
It's your lousy parenting that turned Momoka into this shameless brat.
Oh, please. You hardly even raised us. Don't act all high and mighty now.
Fights broke out more often, even during business hours, ruining the store's atmosphere. Eventually, they had to close the restaurant for good.
Wait, what do you mean divorce?
After seeing who you and your family really are, there's no way I can stay married to you. Switching from Chisato to you, I was an idiot through and through.
The restaurant's gone. I have nowhere else to go. I don't want a divorce.
After a messy divorce, Ryuta and Momoka officially split. Chisato's parents and sister, now with no one to rely on, live in miserable conditions.
Hey, look, it's that guy. He dumped the older sister for the younger one. Total scumbag. And the younger one's awful too. Guy clearly has no taste.
Ryuta didn't get off easy either. Because he invited coworkers to the wedding, word spread quickly at his company. But I guess this is what I get for hurting Chisato. He still shows up to work somehow, though it's like walking on pins and needles.
So, Chisato, how do you like our veggies?
Meanwhile, Chisato and I visited Love Koi Farm.
They're amazing! Just imagine all the dishes I could make with them is exciting.
A few months ago, when I told Grandma about Chisato, she insisted I bring her by. And just recently, Chisato Bento and Love Koi Farm entered into a contract.
So, Daichi, how do you feel about Chisato? You've clearly gone above and beyond for her, and you two seem really close.
Huh?
Sure, it might have been hard to accept someone's feelings right after a broken engagement. But now, I think the timing might be just right.
With Grandma giving me that gentle nudge, I took a step toward Chisato. Chisato, I may have offered to pretend to be your boyfriend because of the farm connection. But honestly, it was more about not being able to stand seeing you get hurt. The first time I came to Chisato Bento, your food really touched me. And the more I came, the more I found myself falling for you. If you're not ready for a relationship yet, I'll wait as long as it takes. So please, would you consider being with me? For real? You can tell a lot about someone's heart from the quality of their produce or their cooking. That's why I want to keep learning to see people for who they really are, not just what's on the surface.
I think I can fall in love again. If it's with you, Sukahara. Sorry for making you wait so long. I'd love to be with you.
As we looked into each other's eyes, thinking of the days to come, I promised myself I'll never cut corners, so I could always bring out Chisato's best smile.
Aw, Grandma giving up the push. Very nice. Thank you for watching this episode. Make sure to like and subscribe. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye!